welcome back. It's Millennial Madness with Nick and Nay. Please be sure that you like, subscribe, follow, share, do all the things that you need to do with the social medias. We are back in action and ready to hit another hard-hitting topic.
Yes. I am so glad. I have my host back. Yay. So today is going to be it's going to be real, guys. It's so real. Today we're going to be talking about what is the hardest part about dealing with you. When I say you, I'm talking about me, her, and I want you to have a reflection time on this. What's the hardest part about dealing with you? Because why is that important? First, I'm going to ask you, why is that important? Why is it important to identify what exactly or what is the hardest part about dealing with you? Why is that important?
Oh my gosh. I think we all have hard, crusty parts. You know what I mean? We all have edges. And, it's true when they say that children are just recovering adults. We are recovering from our childhood. We're recovering from life. We're recovering from letdowns and heartaches. We're recovering from successes because successes can also be a form of a stress. You're not used to achieving things or you can't accept compliments. So what are the hardest part of you? I'm pretty sure I'm hard in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into that today and kind of touch base on what that could be.
Yes. So I think that, I guess I'll start. I think the hardest thing about dealing with me that I'm always identifying with, I almost have to apologize for it sometimes. I feel like I don't have to, but it's like I need to, almost kind of do a disclaimer because I can be very abrasive. I could be very abrasive sometimes. When I say stuff, it's like I think I have the best heart, but at the same time, I think things that have happened in life causes me to have this zero tolerance attitude. It's like, if I tell you something, that's what it is. Like, I don't come to me trying to step to me, telling me about anything that I'm saying. That's how I feel.
Where her heart used to be. 90s babies.
Yeah. So I got to deal with that. I have to deal with being so doggone abrasive. Everything that
Pointy.
Yeah. Very curt in the things that I say sometimes. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the things that I need to work on. And, honestly, I think that with me being so curt, it also is almost what draws people to me, because I feel like if somebody wants a very dry, uncut opinion about something, the truth about something,
white meat.
Yeah, I'll give it to you and I mean it in the best way possible. My heart is like a plush marshmallow, but I'm going to tell it to you for real.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. No, it's not no marshmallow.
I am a marshmallow.
Frozen Cool Whip. It's got to thaw down a little bit.
Frozen Cool Whip.
But I wouldn't say no marshmallow. I'm just saying from my personal experience.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. I know for me, I think we're just the way we were raised. My patience is very short because there are so many things in life that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make happen, that I'm trying to make move. And so my sister will always check me like, ooh, you're just so.
I'm glad you can identify that.
And it comes from the best place. It comes from a place of love. I'm literally telling you what you need to know and hear without no fat. I'm trying to give you a diet version. I'm looking at your health when I'm just straight to the point, cut to the bone and the meat. You don't need that. Just none of the fluff, none of the grease. Here you go. And it's something that I have had to chisel off of myself in a lot of ways, because even though what I'm saying may be what should be said, better in how I say it.
Yeah.
It will not be accepted and it will not be understood if I'm as abrasive as I can be at times. It just comes with, I guess, grooming, where you really have the lead way to lead fluff.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I agree. I mean, so what led, how can you pinpoint, where can you pinpoint this shortness of patience from? Where did all of this start? And I want to make a side note too. All of these things are things you should be asking yourself, to our listeners. It's a good thing to ask yourself, where did this shortcoming come from? At what point did you realize, like, I ain't got no patience?
For me, so we grew up PKs, preacher's kids, as a lot of people are fondly know. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me.
I'm looking at the world.
And the truth is, I'm just gonna be honest with you, because hey, this is raw, uncut. This is us. And we were raised PKs, and I don't know if anyone out there can relate with being raised as a PK, but there are standards that are set for you that are far higher,
unrealistic
standards that are set for you, higher than regular, normal, non-PK kids. The minute that you walk in that church, in that assembly, in that whatever it may be, it's like lights on. Okay, it's camera.
Ooh, I think this would be a good side episode. We could,
we go ahead and take off let's rip the
ouch, yeah,
without falling out my chair. Okay, but the truth is, we were groomed at a very young age to look a certain way, to act a certain way, to behave in certain ways, to react in certain ways. You could not be too much out here. You could not be too much out there. You want to mess up that image, and you don't want to mess up, or misrepresent what's going on. And it is a crap ton of pressure to put on anyone at any juncture in their life, especially a child that should be a child.
Right.
As children, you're free, you're running around, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to say things, but there is not that allowance to do that. And so we grew up into where we have to censor, and we have to mitigate and think 5-6 steps ahead to make sure this image or this, whatever it may be, is the right one.
Yeah, and I think it carries on in adulthood. Like, that's
and it carries on. Okay, your self-esteem issues, just having basic conversations with people where you're unable to really say what you want to say because you don't know how it's going to be received, and you don't know how you will be judged by what you say. And so I grew up, and I think that's my pinpoint thing for me. It was gradual, but I definitely grew up to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go straight to the point, because there's no fat. There is no margin of error for me. I have to do this and be this way so that this is what I mean. Don't assume what I mean.
Yeah, and I think too that oftentimes, if that's something that you take on, you almost make other people have to do the same thing. You expect that out of them. Like, I expect you to cut the fat and tell me what you need now. What do you need? Where are we going with this whole conversation? Right.
And you expect rigidity.
Yep.
Because there is so much of it. And, just speaking to, look, let me tell you something, y'all. We're just going to be all the way real, okay? It is a miracle today that I am still a Christian, because of what I have been through, what we have been through, what we have seen, experienced. It is a miracle. And it took a serious deep dive into my own personal faith, into my own walk, because I had to choose it.
Yep.
When I was growing up, it was told to me.
Forced. Yeah, it was
forced on me.
Yep.
I had to come to a point where I had to choose it. And I think that made all the difference in the world, because I realized that, God's not rigid like that. He's worried about me putting a handkerchief over my knee. You know what I'm saying? I'm
not the handkerchief.
In my head. I'm not. Am I by myself up in? No. Okay.
Let the church say amen.
I'm not the only one. Oh, my heel is too high. The Lord said, "Come as you are." I had to dive deep and find that out myself. And so, we getting way off. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, we gotta really back in.
I believe is one of the hardest parts of me, because I was trained and honed and sculpted to feel and act and react a certain way, when the truth is, I'm only human. I'm going to make those mistakes. If I did make a mistake, then I should have had a leeway of forgiveness in order to grow into those mistakes and not do it again.
Yeah.
that I'm just, I'm proud.
That's the conclusion of our TED Talk. Thank you for listening. No, but that's honest. That's truth, because you know what? No, you're on it, because I think that with you saying what you're saying, a lot of that, it all, like I said, it all
so
just kind of
goes
behind
it. It's so much shame behind it.
And that's the thing.
Wounding so many people unnecessarily. Now, there's nothing wrong with having standards. Nothing wrong with setting boundaries. But within those boundaries, understanding your audience, understanding who you're talking to and who you're raising, because you're going to grow up just like that, intolerant and unable to move. And when something moves you or shakes your faith or shakes how you're thinking, you will not be able to cope.
Right.
Been through it, had a fall, had to get my straps and pull them on up. I mean, we just being real this morning.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that kind of goes back to the same thing with me talking about how abrasive I am. It's almost kind of like, you know, in the process of you being molded and groomed, you get hurt a lot. You get hurt a lot because you're like, golly, I can't be myself. You're not willing to accept me as I am, and I have to be this other person. And it makes you angry because it's like, you hurt me for what? Like, why are you hurting me? And for me, I think that not even just dealing with the whole church situation, but also through life, like growing up, I got hurt a lot. And a lot of people don't know that they hurt me, and that's part of that is my fault for not addressing it when it happened. But I got hurt a lot. And it caused me to develop this very thick skin, this skin that says, listen, either you're gonna deal with who I am, as I am, unapologetically, or we can't be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to allow you to hurt me.
There's a lot of trust.
It's a lot of trust.
A lot of
trust
that's
the
issues.
thing. And I think that also, with us talking about our flaws and stuff like that, I think that my abrasiveness also goes hand in hand, like you said, with the trust factor. Because once you got me, once I have established that we good, oh man, like let me tell you, I'm gonna make you laugh, I'm gonna make you cry from laughing, we gonna eat, we gonna be merry, we gonna play some games, I'm always gonna crack jokes.
You're just elbows in, just
you gotta get there. You got to get there first. And I think that that's something that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with saying, okay, Jazz, you can't do that from jump, because it throws people off. Like, oh, why she got that? Why she got that face? Why she looking like that? Why she sitting like that? Why she so quiet? It's not a thing that you're trying to do. It's a habit that you've developed based off of things you've gone through. And so it's like, I feel like I always get this label of like, I'm not going to say that word, but like, I'm like stuck up, like I'm very a sedity person. Bourgeois. I had that look on my face all the time. And it's like, oh, I can't deal with Jazz because she, she just blah, blah. She thinks she doing all this and she thinks she got this and she think, all that. It ain't that. It's not that. It's just that I have a zero tolerance because I'm willing to protect myself first before you can even throw a strike. Because I guarantee you, if you throw the strike, look, I'm coming back 10 times. Look, I stay prepared. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, as much as people talk about being hard, that's not the way to be. That's not life. It's not life. You will miss
out on so many friendships, so many relationships.
Exactly.
Let me say this too. Look, I have been to counseling more than once. I am an advocate for it because what you need is someone that will have an objective thought, opinion, and advice for you that is outside of your family, that is outside of your normal circle, because they can see a bird's eye view of the things that are hurting you, the things that are bothering you, the things that are plaguing you, whatever it is, the complexes. I 1,000% advocate for that. And if you can, go somewhere, just by yourself. Do some reflection. I'm not saying you have to go all the way to Timbuktu, but you go sit somewhere by a tree and just, contemplate. Really think, dig deep in yourself and say, what is it that has me always feeling this way? Why am I so unhappy? Why am I so angry? Why am I so hurt? Why is it that it bothers me to the point that someone, I don't know, says this to me.
Yeah.
It's just it's blowing me up.
Let me side note on that,
because
this is something that has actually bled over into my marriage. With you saying the part about saying something that triggers you. Look, let me tell you something.
Don't even know it's from your past.
Look, what? I have a situation. It's a thing that that my spouse knows is a trigger. It's a trigger, and it's the art of someone taking something from me that's mine.
Oh my God.
And
that's a trigger too.
It's if you say like let's say I get into an argument with my spouse and he's like, you know what? Give me all your money or blah 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 blah. You said what now?
Glasses right now for this moment.
You said what now? Because what? You said what? When I tell you, it puts me in a place where I'm like, what? I'm crying. You're not gonna take my stuff. I work hard for this. I did this. You know what I'm saying? And I had to realize, like, listen, look, dude, you can't say stuff like that to me. You cannot say that you're gonna take something from me that I know belongs to me, that I know that I'm entitled to. That's a trigger. And like I said, look, I ain't going that deep because my look, let me tell y'all something. Some past stuff has led me to say what I'm saying. Some past things that I've seen and heard has led me to say what I'm saying.
We are all recovering adults, man. We are recovering adults.
But you know what? The biggest thing too that we got to realize, talking to our listeners now, you have to be able to recognize that. You have to, after the fact, be able to say, like you said, reflection time that says, you know what? I always get upset when my best friend talks about her weight. Yeah. Or talks about how good her hair looks. Or I'm always upset when someone betrays my trust. Or I always get upset when somebody, is not, like you said, they're not to the point, or they don't have any patience.
And they cannot, look, here's the thing. People cannot read your mind. Mm-hmm. That, let me tell you, all of this bled into my marriage too. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it bleeds into so many people's even just marriage, relationships, how you interact with your kids, how the way you love and appreciate and show your love to people. It bleeds into everything. And so it really takes that reflection time to say, okay, I don't want to feel this way anymore. It's not about what anybody else has said. What they said may have been wrong. Yeah. It may have been wrong. But the fact that it elicited that reaction from you, what caused it? Because you can only control yourself. I can't control what somebody else does, but I can control me. And, that and those hard parts of me that need to be addressed. The hard parts of them, you can't address that. There's somebody coming from a total different background from you. You can't touch that. All you can do is support them through their journey. That's it. I know my sister and I, Lord, how many journeys have we been on in this road trip called life? But that's my one and only sister. Mm-hmm. I know that if something goes down, I can call her today and say, look, I need you to be here, blah, 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 blah. She's like, okay, what time?
Bring a body bag. Oh, got it.
Bring a what? That's it. But it took a long, man. We don't even got time. How much time we got on this thing?
I don't even know.
On some other things. But look, you guys, subscribe, like, comment, share. Because what we're trying to do here is we are trying to be as real as we wish somebody would have been real with us. We wish someone would have imparted this knowledge, just conversation about what they've been through. Because we were raised in a generation where that type of anecdotal knowledge was not.
Do that.
You know what I mean? You had to learn on your own. And then it was like, oh, yeah. Well, such and such in your family went through that too. Or that one over there dealt with it too. Well, why didn't you share it? If it's a generational thing, if it's a pattern, if it's something, why are we not discussing this?
Right.
Another subject. We just got everywhere.
But I think that the bottom line of this podcast, and I think the biggest takeaway that we want you to take from this as well is recognize and be honest with yourself. What are things that I can improve on? Not only as a millennial, but as just as a whole, even if you're
just
not a millennial, just as a person, what can I improve on? What are my weaknesses? What are things that turn people off from me? I'm talking about being real. Not that, oh, I'm just so perfect. I don't have no, everybody got something that they can improve on. What is it that you yourself can improve on? And what are the steps that you're going to take to get there? Just like my sister said, take some time, reflect, journal, think about the interactions. Man, I lost that friend 5 years ago. Why though? They just stopped talking to me. What did I, take time and reflect on those things, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to be better people. We're all trying to learn and enjoy everything that God has put on this earth for us to enjoy, and be the best person for your spouse. If you're single, the best person for your potential spouse, for your friend, for your dog, for your kids. You want to be the best person.
Goldfish.
And your goldfish, like that's the biggest thing. Us outing our weaknesses, we are hopeful that it gives you the strength to open up those boxes that you haven't been able to open, in some time, some things that you deal with. So yeah. But we're gonna have to come back with a PK.
That was action packed. I mean,
yeah, I like that.
I feel like a little,
rumble
something off my chest.
But yeah, guys, once again, this was Millennial Madness. Guys, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell somebody to tell somebody. We enjoy just doing this and talking and stuff like that. And stay tuned for more content, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right.